The Golden Braid of Princess Vistula, written by Marta Jakubowska, illustrated by Louis Chacon, narrated by Samantha Boffin. Once upon a time, not far from Ram Mountain, lived an old king with his daughter named Vistula. Princess Vistula was famous for her beauty, but most of all, she was famous for her long, beautiful golden braid. The old king and Princess Vistula lived happily in a castle surrounded by a magical forest where Princess Vistula loved to play. The old king was proud of his lovely daughter. One morning in this magical forest, Princess Vistula found an orphaned young lynx. She took the lynx to the castle and raised him. Soon after, she rescued a young eagle from a dangerous trap. The lynx and the eagle became Vistula's faithful friends, and they never left her sight. One summer day, when Princess Vistula was walking along a green forest path, she met a handsome prince. The prince, not frightened at all by the presence of the lynx and the eagle, looked deeply into the eyes of the beautiful princess with the golden braid. They both fell in love at first sight. Unfortunately, the prince was on his way to an important expedition, and he had to leave. Before he left, he said to the princess, "When I come back, I will ask your father for your hand." With tears in her eyes, Princess Vistula whispered, "In faraway lands, you will see many beautiful girls, and you will forget about me." The prince kneeled, took her golden braid into his hand, and pressed it to his heart. "I will never forget this beautiful golden braid," he said. The days went by. Every morning, Princess Vistula ran to the tower of the castle to see if her prince was coming back. She spent every moment dreaming about the prince and braiding her golden hair for him. The year went by, and summer came again. The kingdom of the old king started to suffer from a drought. The forest began to die. But Princess Vistula was so much in love that she did not see it at all. One day, she heard a cry for help. Suddenly, Princess Vistula awoke from her sweet dreams. "We have no food. The land is dry. Help us," people begged the old king. Princess Vistula wiped her eyes and looked around. She saw her entire world dying from thirst. Terrified, she looked at the lynx and the eagle. "How can I save my kingdom?" she asked. The lynx and the eagle led Princess Vistula into a wild, deep forest, to a place where a wise woman lived. Princess Vistula told her about the drought destroying her father's land and asked for advice. "My child," said the old woman in a quiet voice, "only you can save your father's kingdom." "I will do everything to save my land," Princess Vistula replied. The wise woman said, "You must go to the top of Ram Mountain. Cut off your golden braid and throw it in front of you." "The braid?" cried out the princess. "My beautiful golden braid! How will the prince recognize me?" But the wise woman said nothing more. Not waiting a second longer, Princess Vistula, together with her friends, climbed to the top of Ram Mountain. The princess cut off her golden braid with little scissors from the wise woman and threw the braid in front of her. Suddenly, a little tear from her eyes dropped onto the falling braid, and instantly the golden braid changed into a sparkling, beautiful river. The whole world came back to life. Trees turned green, flowers bloomed, animals rushed to the river, and people were full of joy. Princess Vistula took a secret path to return to the castle. She did not want anyone to see her without her golden braid. Her father was waiting for her. "My daughter," he said in a gentle voice, "I have always been proud of your golden braid, but the truth is, I should have been proud of your golden heart." Not long after, the princess heard horses' hooves. She knew that her prince had returned. "My prince will not recognize me," she thought with sadness. She went out onto the balcony, hoping she could stay hidden there. A minute later, a gentle knock sounded at her door. Princess Vistula hesitated. At this moment, the eagle appeared from the sky and put a golden crown on her head. Princess Vistula touched the golden crown. "I am the daughter of the king," she thought. "I should not be scared." The gentle knock sounded at her door again, and she let the prince in. The prince looked at Princess Vistula with a smile. "Don't hide from me, my beautiful princess. Your golden heart saved your father's kingdom. Princess of my dreams, please be my wife." Princess Vistula lived happily ever after with her prince. To this day, the beautiful river named after her flows through the mountains and valleys of Poland. It is known as the Vistula River. The Vistula River reminds us about the lovely princess who gave up her golden braid to save her kingdom.